Hello everyone, it is Saturday, which I know is kind of weird because it's almost the end of the week and there's only been 2 videos. So clearly we are down a few members of the channel, and unfortunately this is a permanent thing that people who are gone are going to stay gone. You've seen their goodbye videos. But what this means is that we will be looking for new members, so watch out for a video within the next week talking about auditions. Ooh. But for now, for today, for this week, it is an advice week, and we are talking about how to deal with dysphoria, and we had this topic a while ago, like a long time ago, over the summer, because I know I was at home when I was filming it. And I think my advice back then was to take cute, sexy pictures of yourself until you feel good about everything, and that's still how I solved most of my problems in life. And I know I'm not the only one who does this, because I'm friends with a lot of you on Facebook, and I see your selfies everywhere, forever, all day, millions of them. It's basically the foundation of Instagram. Everyone takes selfies to feel good about themselves. About them selfies. And this makes sense, especially for dysphoria, because dysphoria generally has to do with how people see you and how that affects how you see yourself. And selfies are basically pictures of yourself that highlight everything that you do appreciate about the way you look, and then it kind of counteracts each other and balances out, and then maybe you feel decent. But I've found some of the most effective ways to fight dysphoria actually have nothing to do with gender or appearance or anything about how you see yourself or how others see you and male and whatever. And I mean, try and think of the thing that has the least to do with everything in your life. Think about all the things you do, all the places you go, all the people you interact with, and all the ways that you see the world, and think of something that just has nothing to do with any of that and creates no progress in your life. And do that for a while, and it'll really just make you not think about yourself in terms of other things, because you're not doing anything that has anything to do with anything. And I'd give the same advice to somebody who is stressed, because I consider dysphoria to be a kind of stress. And the best way to deal with stress is to get your mind off of anything at all. You know, count your change, count your bills, arrange it into piles of $5 and $10 and $1 and whatever. Do puzzles, take walks. This doesn't further you socially in any way. It doesn't make any progress. It's not productive really at all. And yeah, there will be times when you'll do one of these things and you'll forget about everything and you'll have a fine time, and then you'll come back after your break and it'll be completely awful again and nothing would have changed and nothing got any better. But there are other times when this break that you take from all of these bad feelings is really going to help you when you come out of it. They say when you study or when you're doing a big project and a long paper, it's better to take breaks in between than to work the entire way through. And people say, what good will that do? Like, shouldn't I rather go all the way through and just like pound it out and then get done with it? And the thing is, that can make it really hard to get through something. If I'm sitting there writing a paper and I don't leave my chair and I just try and sit there and get through the entire paper, I'll stare at my screen for a really long time, and it'll take me really long amounts of time to get ideas out. But if I take like a 15-minute break, and you know, it's gonna do nothing towards my paper, so I'm gonna feel like I'm being unproductive. But when I get back to my paper, I have, you know, a fresh mind and I'm relaxed or whatever, and I can get through it. And yes, writing a paper has nothing to do with dysphoria. So the advice that I'm getting at is not that categorizing your CDs or counting your money or taking a walk or doing a puzzle are actually gonna help for your dysphoria. But what I'm trying to say is that if there's a way that you know of that helps you deal with stress, whether it's schoolwork or family problems or anything else, you can probably apply the same techniques to dysphoria and it'll make you feel a little bit better, and it might not be a lasting thing. The lasting stuff might be the medical stuff. If I could just do a puzzle every time I felt bad about myself, then I would, and it would be fine, and I wouldn't have gone through everything that I've been through. But it's about temporary fixes until you can afford, or until you're supported enough to be able to go through some more permanent fixes. And I think Chase made a really important point in his video this week. It's that society, whether it's the trans community or it's people in general, really worsens dysphoria in a way that is not necessary for trans people. I feel like trans people have a lot more dysphoria than they are naturally with. There are 2 types of dysphoria. There's the dysphoria that you would feel if you were stranded on an island, there was no one around you, and there were no mirrors, and it was just you and your body. And sometimes there are things about your body, I know there were with me, that you would still hate, even if you were completely alone. And then there are the things that you are uncomfortable about them because of the people around. That's still a legitimate thing, and people can still alter their bodies in ways to fix what society has created for them, dysphoria-wise. And sometimes the best way to help your dysphoria is to really just get away from society and people, and kind of strand yourself on your own island, just like in your bedroom, and make it so you don't feel like people are watching you or judging you. And I could say all day not to care what people think, but the fact is, no matter who you are, if you go out in public and someone's giving you this entirely judging look and they're giving you a dirty, nasty look, or they say something in passing, it's gonna make you feel bad about yourself. It doesn't matter who you are. You can say that you don't care, and you're going to care a little bit. Even if you really, really think you don't care, if it happens over and over again, it adds up. So yeah, you can't just say fuck society and go on with your life. There is an issue, and sometimes you just need to get away. So that is my advice on dysphoria's birthdays. First of all, Lucas, he is another YouTuber, but it was his birthday. Then we have Eli, he was very vague about the birthday day that he has, but it was on the week of May 11th, so happy birthday to him too. Then there is TKD Girl 368. There are numbers in that username. I always forget numbers. Then we have Finn Hafner names. Craig is the Man 101, turned 19. I'm 19, so twins, although I do turn 20 in June, so not really that much twins. Then we have May 405, aka Tom, who turned 22. Akio Life 13, who turned 24. I think that might be a Harry Potter thing, and I think that I didn't pronounce it right, but that's okay. I tried. And we have Ryan, who turned 15 on May 9th. Caleb Huber, who turned 15 at some point in time. And then since all the college graduations are happening and everybody's finishing up with school, congratulations to all the college graduates and high school graduates and middle school graduates and elementary school graduates and preschool graduates and people who are being born. That has nothing to do with this time of year, but someone's gotta be born, so, you know, congratulations. Birthdays, yeah. My cousin Leah, she was in the last video in the last, like, 20 seconds, and she had, like, boobs everywhere. It happened. And she just graduated college, so hooray! See you next Saturday.